We live in a fast-paced, fast food, Wi-Fi connected world. I mean, think about it. You have email and text messaging and your cell phone and your computer and your video game console that has access to all of these kinds of things, and social media sites and connectivity everywhere. You can get Wi-Fi at a gas station now, and everybody's concerned about cell phone signal and dead spots. You can buy a car that actually has access to social media websites, so while you're driving down the road, you can stay connected to those things. We thrive on this connection, but it's really ironic because it really, to me, seems like false connection. When I look in Acts chapter 4, verse 32, I see this about the early church. Now the full number of those who believed were of one heart and one soul. And when I think about that picture, I don't really conjure up images of a bunch of people on Facebook that have these deep connections. I actually think of the little married couple that's been married for 50 or 60 or 70 years. And it seems like they share each other's thoughts, they share each other's heart, they share each other's mind. They're of one heart and one mind. They know each other so intimately and so deeply. They've walked with each other through life. You know, they've mourned together. They've gone to one another for really significant, meaningful advice. That's the picture I see when I see that all these members that were gathered together, all these believers, were of one heart and one soul. And I think that's what community groups really need to be. Now, they're not going to be there initially, but as you get to know people, and those people get to know you, you start to connect in a very significant way. You're walking through life together. You're having grace for one another, because really, let's think about it. When you're sitting around a table and you're eating messy food, it's kind of hard to be cool when you have food on your hands and on your face. When you're having accidents and spilling and dripping mustard on your shirt or whatever it is, you're just a real person. And you can't edit your comments that you're speaking. They're just coming out. You're having a conversation. There's a natural flow to it. You can't go back and reread and delete and edit and read before you speak. There's not a lot of that. You're just real people sitting around a table, eating food, laughing, crying, praying, conversing, whatever it is, arguing. You know, there's something about being together in a room, talking and loving one another and learning about each other that fosters relationship. And these kinds of relationships don't exist as much in the world right now that is completely focused on this false connection. I mean, most people don't have a deep relationship with a friend anymore. I mean, how many people do you really know? I mean, deeply know. And how many people really know you, the inner you, the core of you? I mean, some of us are fortunate we have a spouse that has this kind of relationship developing, but a lot of us don't have these kinds of relationships with our friends. We have a fake profile that's put out there for our friends to see, and we want people to see the real us. We want to connect like this early church did and be of one heart and one mind, and that's really the goal and the hope of a community group, that your community group will get together and you'll start to foster these kinds of real, authentic, meaningful connections that help us to better understand who we are and better understand who God is, and we help people understand together who we are as a people loved by God who are longing to know God better. It's really significant that you have these kinds of friends and these kinds of relationships. We want to foster a place where people can be known and they can know others. That's really ultimately what we're looking for in community group. Maybe that's a high goal, but I think it's a noble goal that we should be striving for.